do a common formative assessment, gave them the data, and then they could see that they needed to move forward. And they also saw that it wasn't going to be punitive against them. It was for the data sake. It's for changing instruction. And so now this year, they're even more open and coming up with their own formative assessments. And we've also moved to based on proficiency, especially in algebra and geometry.
How did the district do that?
How does the district do?
Give them the data. I mean, the teachers are giving the test, but how did you come in?
We designed the assessment, the common assessment for mathematics and algebra and geometry, and then we went in and we gave the assessment in all of the classes, and then we provided the teachers with that data. And these were all questions that were made by our teachers, but we put them together for them. So we gave them assistance to get them over what we saw as a little bit of a hump for them, right? Because they're saying, we can't do it, okay, how can we help you? So we gave them that kind of assistance.
Were these computerized, or were they?
They were paper and pencil, and then what we had done was we put it on Canton to make it quicker. And so a formative assessment should be short to give you enough information on particularly what kind of strand we need to work on in mathematics for our students.
I watched a kind of cool one the other day. Yuki split the superintendent herself and our director of student services. We each have 14 PLCs in our district. So we go and visit throughout our district, all of the PLCs throughout our district. And so the one I went to last Wednesday was the 8th grade humanities, and they had, they're working on Jamestown, and they were also working on, what part was that, Whitney? That was the English part that they were doing? Right.
Inquiry?
Inquiry. Yeah, right. So the different levels of questioning, COSTA's levels of questioning that are AVID strategies, advancement by individual determination strategies. And so they were sitting there with their data, all scoring on a rubric, the way that they had these inquiry pieces written that they had done in small groups. So they combined the Jamestown work with this inquiry-based work of writing different levels of thinking questions, scored them together, and then put the data together to say, why were your kids doing so well? What was it, the strategies that you, oh, I know this kid by name, and boy, was he squirrely. How did we get him to do this? I just have to say that being a superintendent, being able to go to that meeting and sit there and watch this mental exercise these teachers did together on an informal common formative assessment, and we have formal ones too. I'm just saying they knew each kid and where they were in that learning. I want to say that I think that's the key. And it wasn't because we have all these resources. We just have been dovetailing them into these 4 focus areas.
So part of what our subcommittee does to summarize is that it's sort of like that think tank idea. When we're looking at the research, we're looking at best practices, we're practicing together, we're learning together, and then you're going to see how that kind of played out in the schools and then into the classroom. So that was last year, and a lot to do with protocols. How do we work effectively and efficiently? This year, what we're working on, if you look at the goals, we're looking at instructional frameworks. So as we kind of analyze how we're doing with our professional learning communities, we can look at the data, we know that we need to work on some things, but now we need to really have an instructional framework by which we have a common vocabulary, a common understanding, and very explicit so that we can have conversations with teachers about instruction. Because we know what the curriculum is, we know what our power standards are, we know what we do in professional learning communities, we know what we do with data teams, and now how do we really have a deep conversation about instruction? And then introduce to you Michael Lopes, who's the principal of Prescott Elementary.